Mr. Luba, before you speak, I have something to say, and I would appreciate if you don't interrupt me while I say it. During the last 3 council meetings, you violated the decorum rule at the end of each meeting by derogatory remarks aimed at a named individual, which is a violation of Rule 15. You've been repeatedly warned against this disruptive behavior. I'm now warning you prior to this meeting. If you do it again this evening, you will be asked to leave. And if you do it at the end of your discussion in previous or next meetings, coming up meetings, you will be suspended from the following meeting. You may now proceed.
Can't do that. First Amendment, sir. I'm Mr. Haluba, and obviously I aggravate the unelected, thin-skinned Brian Augst.
Let's take a break.
It had something to do with his son and
Mr. Luba.
the aiding and abetting of the takeover of downtown Clearwater.
Mr. Luba.
Don't touch me.
No, we're not touching you. Just
Don't
make your way to the door,
touch me.
please.
You got a copy of the complaint that I filed against Mr. I'm speaking right now.
Mr. Luba, he's asked you to leave. It's time to go. You can come back to the next meeting, but you got to leave now.
He just said I could come back to the next meeting.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Mr. Luba, let's go. Mr. Luba, head to the door, please.
Where's Mr. Banks tonight? Where's Irritable Eric Gandy? Where's Mr. Wallach? We know where Mr. Stiff is.
Mr. Luba, just head to the door, please.
I really don't have to.
You've been
I'm
told
out
to
of
leave
the
the
meeting.
facility.
No, I was told to leave the meeting. You heard him.
Okay, then I'll stand out here for the rest of the meeting with you.
Okay, let's do
If
that.
that's what you
we
wanna
can
do.
talk about Mr. Banks.
We're not going to talk about any of that stuff,
We
Mr.
can talk
Luba.
about Byron Lou Hatcher. We can talk about all those things. We can
Mr.
talk about
Luba.
Steve Wanos. Do you want a copy of the complaint I filed against Mr. Banks?
Don't need it.
Well, I sent you a copy of it, I think.
Nope, never got a copy from you.
Okay, well, I have one right here if you want it.
I'm good.
You don't care about a complaint filed against your subordinate?
I've already been made aware of it. I don't need to see it. It's being
But
addressed.
you're made aware of it, but you haven't seen the complaint?
It's being addressed.
Why haven't you seen the complaint, Mr. Stiff?
Mr. Luba, I'm not going to sit and answer these questions tonight. Let's go. Come on.
I don't have to go. You just said that. I'm outside the meeting.
I'm
That's what he
asking you,
said.
Mr. Luba, I've shown you respect whenever I've had to speak with you, have I not?
Have I not shown you respect?
And I'm asking you nicely. Let's just call it a night. Come on. He said you could come back to the next meeting.
He said I had to leave the meeting. He didn't say I had to leave.
And that
the
means
building.
leave the building.
No, it
Yes,
does
it does. You need to leave the premise.
No, it does not. That is not what it means. And you are participating in violating my First Amendment rights.
All right, well, the mayor advised that you were in violation of the decorum of the rules.
The meeting.
Let's go.
I left the meeting. I don't have to leave the building. It's a library.
Officer Kelsey,
Officer Kelsey.
if you want to go back in there, you can. And hang out. I'll stay out here with him. Yep. One of you can stay with me.
Yeah, it might be trouble. Right? Could be trouble. I don't know.
Mr. Haluba, we've always been respectful with you.
No, you haven't.
I haven't?
Not you. I didn't say you said we.
I'm saying that the officers that are standing here.
Well, I don't know her. I mean, she was okay earlier. She said she didn't know where, Wallach and Gandy were. And I don't guess that's required of, a regular officer. Are you also on the bicycle brigade?
I am, sir.
So you supervise the bicycle brigade,
I do, Mr. Haluba.
which includes, the nefarious character Byron Lou Hatcher. You know who Byron Lou Hatcher is.
Yes, I know who Officer Hatcher is.
He's your subordinate, correct?
Yes, he is on my team.
Well, that means he's your subordinate. So you saw the complaint that was filed against him by my daughter.
I'm not aware of that one. I haven't read that one.
Well, that's probably why he's on the bicycle team. He was a complete, that is Byron Lou, social media idiot clown. And he embarrassed the Clearwater police undeniably. And it went on and on and on, and Slaughter wouldn't do anything about it. He should have been fired. He was a security guard at Morton Plant Hospital. He harassed my daughter, and you better damn well believe he got fired from ever setting foot on Morton Plant Hospital again unless he's on a gurney. There was no background check done on Byron Lou Hatcher. He formerly worked in the Gainesville Police Department. He was hired here under a program called Hire Minorities. Another one of Slaughter's wonderful programs for hiring people without any particular skill level. He had 5 pages of complaints against him, which you, sir, as his supervisor, claim you're not aware of. And there was at least 6 complaints on every one of those pages. You shook your head, yes. Why?
No, I'm just listening to what you're saying. No, I'm just listening to what you're saying, Mr. Luba.
That's cool.
I'm not agreeing. I'm just standing here listening to what you're saying.
Why don't you check the background of the people that work for you? Because obviously Poirier and Slaughter and Gandy, all they're worried about is trying to fill a hiring quota. And we get people like Byron Lou Hatcher. Don't you think it was wrong on Mr. Banks to put his hands on me at the last meeting?
I'm not going to get into that, Mr. Luba.
Well, you're not, denying that it happened either.
I'm not going to discuss it.
Well, don't discuss it. It happened. It's on videotape.
Okay.
And that's an assault.
And you made that complaint, correct?
Yes, I did. Would you like a copy of it?
No, but it's being looked into, correct? So why are we talking about it?
Would you like a copy of it?
Yes, sir.
I'm sure that the department will be in contact with you.
That's all I'm asking, sir.
Well, Mr. Luba, it wasn't submitted to me. You submitted it to Internal Affairs, correct?
Correct.
Okay, that's not
But
my department.
I have a copy of it right now that I would think as a subordinate.
I'm not going to sit and read it and then you get my reaction. Mr. Luba, calm down. Bring the volume down. They're having a meeting in here, and then he's going to hear you disturbing that, and then we're going to have another issue.
Well, I've got an issue with him, and you know
Okay,
that.
well,
He's unelected.
But Mr. Luba, I don't have an issue with you.
I don't have an issue with you personally.
Okay, so why are we doing this? You made your point tonight.
No, I don't think I didn't get finished with what I was going to say.
Well, then you can come back to the next meeting and do it.
And he'll throw me out again when I call him thin-skinned and unelected. And you two do his dirty dealing for him. You violate my rights on his say-so when he has no right to throw me out of the meeting. None. As it's been said, you swore to uphold the First Amendment. You're not doing that. And that I have an issue with.
Then why don't you call tonight and come back next time?
Well, why don't you let me go back in?
Because the mayor said you're not allowed back in there.
Unelected, thin-skinned
Okay, that's
mayor.
not, but you can say that,
I did.
Mr. Luba, and that's fine.
But
You have every right to say that.
You have every right to say
But
that. and you have
he's
no
in
right
charge
to
of the
throw me
meeting.
out for that.
But hold on. He's in charge of the meeting, and he asked us to have you step out.
And there are no provisions in Rule 15 for accumulating warnings.
Okay.
Have you read Rule 15 thoroughly, sir, since you're supposedly enforcing it? I mean, have you?
Mr. Luba, we're not getting into this tonight.
You haven't read the Rule 15?
I'm not going to get into this
You
with
drag me
you.
out in the hallway on the mayor's say-so, citing Rule 15, but you don't know Rule 15,
Okay.
right? Would you like a copy of that? I happen to have it. I'm offering to help you out, man.
I'm good, Mr. Luba. Well, listen, I'm not going to, Mr. Luba, I'm asking you, will you please just leave tonight? I'm asking you nicely.
I don't have to.
Adult to an adult.
I don't have to. I have a lot of problems with the city of Clearwater.
Okay.
Particularly.
Well, then why are you standing here with us then? If it's not, you said I wasn't your problem, did you not?
I have every right to stand here with you.
Okay. Well, then
That's why.
from here, this point forward, I'm not saying another word to you and I'll just stand here with you.
Well, I didn't, I can't make you reply.
Well, you're not going to put words in my mouth tonight, so.
All right, well, if I say something that you don't agree with, let me know. How about that?
How about that?
Well, no response. You don't look very excited. So you're on the bicycle brigade. Why do you have a car? Why do you have a police car? Yeah, that's a good question. Do you have a police car, madam?
I do, sir.
You do? Well, where's the bicycle brigade come in?
You just have a bicycle as well.
I'm sorry?
I have a bicycle as well.
Oh, okay. Well, but these city councilmen see this fool we have for a mayor, unelected, acting this childish. It's a shame, and you should be ashamed to work for an organization that's supervised by the likes of Jennifer Poirier and this ridiculous excuse we have for a mayor.
Mr. Lou, why are we doing this tonight?
Because what the mayor did was wrong.
Okay. If you have issue with the mayor, why
to stand here?
And I said we're going to stand here and I'm not going to speak to you.
Thrown out of the building. I was thrown out of the meeting.
God bless you, sir.
See you later, Carl. Thanks for coming in tonight.
I'm going home, Sheldon.
All right. Yeah, you going to the church?
White church.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Yep. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll be around.
I know. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good night, Carl.
I will.
You know what Nicholas Paloma did before he was hired as a police officer? Nope. Want me to tell you? He was a waiter at a Mexican restaurant. He got hired because he could speak Spanish. I don't think that should be the sole reason a police officer is hired. This is why people do not respect Clearwater Police. They're secondary to the Sheriff's Department. As you know, I hold more than a few police officers' files. Clear back to the beginning. Most of them shouldn't be police officers. They have no background to be a police officer. I guess you really don't have to have any, criminal justice training or any college background whatsoever. You just fog a mirror and you're hired. And that's Daniel Slaughter's fault primarily, because he is being told, or was being told, to fill the ranks. And now we got this double dipper Gandy. And then we've got Mr. Margolis, who sits up there and says, it doesn't matter if we pay Gandy his retirement package now. It's a zero-sum game as far as the retirement package goes. He's dead wrong. He's wrong because the City of Clearwater retirement package, the pension plan, covers everybody. Most other municipalities, they have a separate one for the police, separate one for city employees. And I don't know what your accounting background is, Mr. Stiff, but pension plans run on an actuarial basis. I know that's a big word for you, maybe. You're going to want your piece of the pension pie someday. But if a significant part of it is being paid out to people like Slaughter and Gandy before they retire, how's that money going to get made up? They're not retired. They don't deserve it. It's wrongful. but they changed the city charter to let Gandy draw both. And it's just wrong. If you think I'm some kind of a violent person, you're obviously mistaken. I know, about the First Amendment. I know what people's rights are. You have your rights, I have mine. Actually, your rights are a little bit subjected to my rights. You want to know why? Do you want to know why I have more rights than you do? Or why I have more rights than any of these council members and the mayor? Or Jennifer? Or Margulies? Or really any public official? I just gave you a clue, public official. And you are curtailing that. I did not finish. There's no reason Onks could not have allowed me to finish, even after he admonished me, which he has no right to do. I have a right to bring my grievances to him. He's a member of the government. He has no right to air his grievances towards me personally. None. But you just saw it happen, and then you act on it. I just wish, Mr. Stiff, that you could have taken him aside and said, this is wrong. Have you ever seen Slaughter really, really angry? I mean, really angry. I gotta admit, he's pretty level-headed most of the time. But he did not appreciate it one bit when I had him subpoenaed to court. I was put through a lot of crap by Clearwater Police, and there's not one of you that don't know it.
I'm not. I told you I'm not going to go back and forth with you, Mr. Haluba.
You don't have
You can
to
come to your own
because
assumptions. You can say whatever you want to say. I'm not going to go back and forth with
You're
you.
answering my questions with, your facial expression
No, I'm not.
and your eyes.
You can say whatever. I haven't said one word.
Nervous,
I'm not nervous,
rocking
Mr.
back
Haluba.
and forth.
Yeah, because I'm standing out here listening to this.
Yeah, well, too bad. Go in and complain to the mayor. Because in all likelihood, if he'd have let me finish, I would have been done and gone. But no. He's got to redress me for previous actions and violate my First Amendment rights. And you got to be the bag man. Again, verbal open records request. Have you disciplined Violin Lou Hatcher in the last 2 years? You have to answer me. It's an open records request.
Go pull the records, Mr. Haluba. We're not going to get into this tonight.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're
standing
not.
here.
No, we're not.
Well, you know the answer. So you want me to file that written request with you?
Go ahead. Send it through.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to get a hold of the state attorney and pull up this portion of the video of how you refused to respond to me. The verbal open records request. All I'm asking you is something simple. Have you disciplined him in the last 2 years? That's easy enough. Yes or no?
Well, I haven't been a supervisor for the past 2 years, so.
Okay.
No,
Well,
I answered it.
no, you didn't. In the time that you've been a supervisor, have you had to discipline him? Yes or no? Open records request, Mr. Stiff. Verbal open records request.
I told you, Mr. Haluba, we're not going to engage in this tonight. You want to sit out here and say whatever you want to say? Yeah, you can.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I can. You're not going to make me sit and have a conversation with you. Okay.
Just a simple yes or no. I'm not asking you to tell me what it was. That I will file for. Just yes or no, since he's been under your supervision. Has he been disciplined at all? Because if it was no, you'd say no. It's real simple. You're a supervisor. If you don't know, nobody will.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
Did
Mr.
our
Johnson.
cater leave?
What's that?
Did our cater leave?
I think you did.